My next guest is going to be taking on Irwin Rivera coming up here at UFC Fight Night on September 19th. It is Ewell back here on the program. Andre, how's it going, man?
Man, doing pretty well. Everything's going, this moving forward, and I'm just can't wait to get back into the cage. How about yourself, brother?
No complaints. Happy to be talking to you. It's been a bit. I know you've had a lot that's happened since your last fight and this one. You mentioned recovering from some injuries. You're a dad. What's going on with you right now?
Well, one, I am a dad, so I'm already blessed and happy about that, or being a reoccurring father. Taking every time and chance, and even sending out even more, double up to my newborn and my first son. So happy about that. Besides that, from my last fight, I went through basically 3 surgeries. Everybody knows about the ulnar bone that I broke in my last fight, and the bucket tear that I received about a year ago. Ended up, after I got that one fixed, my other one ended up deciding to tear, and basically overcompensating on one side, I guess you can say. So I was putting the other knee through a lot of drive. But besides that, man, I've been focusing, trying to get back in, and now they finally gave me a good fight with Irwin Rivera. So I know that's going to be exciting, and the people should enjoy that. So granted that I like to keep everything exciting. So with another opponent that's going to stay exciting, everything kind of patches up perfectly.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to this matchup just from a style perspective. Really good matchmaking here by the UFC. But I got to quickly talk about your last fight. You're not a judge. You don't, hand out the scorecards or anything like that. I know you got a lot of heat for that win over Jonathan Martinez. How did you deal with that? Because you're a really positive guy. I don't think I've ever seen you upset ever in a post-fight interview or anything we've done. You've never even seen remotely angry. So how did you handle that? Because I'm sure there's a lot of Jonathan Martinez fans coming at you on social media after the fight.
At first it was, but at the same time, some people that ended up rewatching it, or a lot of them that rewatched it, ended up coming back off on the end of. They felt that I did win, but at the end of the day, that's the whole point. And I believe last time we spoke on this. So the fact is, in when you leave it into a judge's hands, it doesn't matter how it end up looking. Everybody's minds can go left or right, but at the end of the day, it's 3 judges that that opinion actually matter or count. And the way that they see it is the way that most other people end up seeing it. But like I said, it's not going to be a tit for tat. I felt that I definitely won. I felt like if my arm wasn't broken, I would have finished the fight. I would have finished them. And I know that other people on his side felt like that he won. At the end of the day, I gave him a chance. We can end up running that back. He decided not to. That's how he feels. I'm going to run up on the rankings. And I already know he's going to eventually call me out. And if it's not him, it'll be one of his teammates, which one of them already did, shout out to him too, and actually another one actually did too. So it's actually 2 of them. For some reason, the name's not popping up, but it's not the only person. A lot of people ended up calling me out, and people are also matching fights like me versus O'Malley type thing, So at the end of the day, I already know in the sport that we are, if you don't finish, everything's going to be a situation where they're going to be questioning it, So that's why I always state, don't leave it up with the judges, or do everything you can to not leave it up with the judges, because you never know what they're thinking or how they feel or how they're going to end up judging. Because you might get a judge that only looks at wrestling, and you might get a judge that only looks at people that don't get touched. It's little tweaks that can end up happening. If you end up holding someone and holding them on the ground, but don't do nothing, some judges say, hey, we can't give you that round, but the other judges, well, he held them. Got to give them that round. It's everybody has a different opinion. So the best thing to do is don't leave it up with the judge.
Let's talk about Irwin Rivera. Obviously, really exciting fighter. I'm sure you were happy when you saw the opponent come up. How do you feel like you match up against him here?
Perfectly, to be honest. It's a match made, I guess most people would say, in heaven. Just the fact is, then it's perfectly befitting. He falls right into my style, just like I fall perfectly right in his style. And I know he ends up having this little explosiveness that could either be a takedown or explosively dropping somebody. The dude keeps it exciting, no matter what. And then just the fact is that he has that Mexican heart of his that's going to keep pushing him forward. And basically, the warrior in him is going to keep him pushing him forward, that I can only be excited by being around that, So it comes down that it's going to end up being very a very interesting fight that should be an accident that I feel like it could either end in the first round or it could be a bloody fight for all three rounds. So it's like pick your poison. No, everybody should be happy with it though.
Yes, no, I agree with that. What type of training camp have you had? Because you're in California, COVID, man, the restrictions, it's been pretty crazy out there. How have you been able to navigate through all that?
Man, navigate by just simply driving straight to the gym.
Oh yeah? Oh, so you have been able to go to the gym. That's good.
No, yeah. I've been, granted, like they shut it down and stuff like that, but they shut it down for big, basically impact, like, a whole bunch of people not allowed to be in one spot. But at the gym, since I have the key, it's kind of like my other home, so it was my own second house. So I can get in there, get out, or make a little small time with other people that are able to come up in there. But when everything was able to be open, like I said, my schedule never changed. It was one of those heal. And when I'm able to start moving, kind of like or set in perfectly for my recovery, So everything kind of like flowed in that direction for me. So it was like 100% good. Heal up at the same time, got to run. Because, there's certain things with my whole arm I wasn't able to punch, but I was able to punch with my left hand, or I was able to use footwork. So my training camp was get back to normal, kill myself in jits, which, my professor is automatically doing. And then all my striking and conditioning, I was still doing my conditioning like no other, doing my boxing with one arm until my other hand came prepared with my brother. And then when I was able to start kicking with both of my legs, me and my striking coach, Tony, everything ended up flipping in. So my cousin, brother, everybody ended up placing me in the position I need to be,
How about the weight cut? How's that going ahead of this fight?
Since it's so goddamn hot in California, man, it's a breeze. And without no breeze, you feel?
Yeah, I bet. No,
I've been dropping weight like bacon. You just pop bacon on a skillet, you just start seeing it sizzle. That's me right now. I'm sizzling up, and dropping weight like crazy. Last night, or last night was 48. 2 nights ago, I was at 47, and I normally walk around about this time between those, between 50s and whatnot. But I'm already in the 47s. So is it ready? Everything's easy.
You kind of talked about it there, but I want to get sort of your thoughts on how this fight is going to play out. So you're saying either a finish or a bloody war, if I heard you correctly.
Oh, yeah, definitely. Finish or a bloody war. It's going to be one of those things. Like I said, he's coming. Either he's coming for it, I'm coming for it, someone's coming for it. And granted, I feel like this is one of those fights that's going to be basically robbed from the fans. Because that's one of those fans would love it to be there just to sit to see this type of fight, or that I'm about to honestly place on the fight or him. Just like I said, it's gonna be one of those things that people are gonna end up missing it, but they're gonna obviously watch it, but they're not gonna be there. So the ones that are gonna be able to be excited is gonna be Felder and Bisping and hopefully Dana and whatnot.
Andre, always appreciate the time, man. Great catching up with you. Glad to hear recovery's going well. Glad to hear the newborn's doing well. Just remind people where they can get a hold of you on social media. I'm sure you got some sponsors you want to thank, and if you got any other thank yous, I'll give you the last word.
Well, one, definitely follow me on day 42. Because look, the word is if I get to 100K followers on day 42, that they'll let me fight. They'll let me fight the Black Beast, Derek Lewis. I'm just saying. Let that one out there. Let that one out there. They're talking. We're all in talks, all right? But that's 100%. And, obviously shout out to all my sponsors. I guess you could say I have a list. Dynasty MMA, Healthy Body Nutrition, Biotech Nutra, freaking Alpine Organics. They're new with the CBD and their vegan style. 100% points to them. Especially everybody knows that I go vegan on my last 5 to 6 weeks or 5 to 8 weeks of cutting. So points to them. Obviously my family and friends and everybody that's Team Ewell. Your Team Ewell and you're down and pushing. Straight love to y'all. And obviously Dodge Management Group, Dodge Sports. So thank you for all of them and everybody. So if I miss anybody, my apologies. Be mad at me next time. All right.